Radio with me, Vafle Kamara. It's good to be back on the second segment of the SMS right here on State Radio. Like I said, Mr. Lawrence Diuga is the program officer, the Federation of Pinsville Youth. He's already in studio, so we will be talking about youth related issues and the federation as well. Lawrence, good morning.
Yes, good morning and thank you so kindly. It's good to be on ELBC State Radio. That is actually followed by many across most of other counties. My pleasure.
Okay. So, how's the federation?
Yes, the Federation of Painesville Youth is on course, and we are also concerned about scores of issues in the city of Painesville relating to the establishment of the Painesville Community College, the issue of drug and substance abuse, sexual and gender-based violence, and the Painesville we want. Relatively, the Federation of Painesville Youth is on course.
We'll come to the nitty gritty of
Yeah.
all of that. That's the essence of the discussion because what bothers the young people bothers the entire country because the population constitutes, or young people constitutes 60 to 70% of the
Yeah,
population.
sure.
So, but the Federation of Pinsville Youth, what do you do? What is your essence? I know that, I mean, there are so many young people in the city. Pinsville is the biggest city in the country.
Definitely.
To have a youth organization, uh, how do you work? What do you do?
Uh, let's register the Federation of Painesville Youth is the mother organization for all of the youth organization in Painesville. We
Okay.
canopy all of them,
Okay.
and we work specifically in the five electoral districts of Painesville. You are aware that Painesville have five electoral districts from District 2 to District number 6. And we work through our CSO and CBOs as it relates to issues affecting young people. And we also work through executive committee, and we also work through our programs and depending the activities of the young people in the city of Painesville. So the Federation of Painesville work through CBOs, CSO, and as it relates to the demands of young people in the city of Painesville.
I know there are a barrage of programs that
Yeah.
you run
Yeah,
under
sure.
the federation.
Definitely.
You want to name a few?
Yes, during the hit of the COVID-19, the Federation of Painesville Youth had this conversation during our time of Dr. Asoka Fala, and we were able to launch this awareness across the city of Painesville, and we work with over 26 CSOs and CBOs, where we distributed buckets, hand sanitizer, and also carrying the message as it relates to the fight against COVID-19. And we also work with youth organizations, so we implement our projects through youth organization in Painesville City. So, for example, if we have a project that relating to the issue of health, and we look at our log, and those organizations that are involved with the issue of health, we bring them on board, implement the project, and we officially monitor them.
Okay,
Yes.
so you write your projects.
Yeah.
Do you implement projects with sponsorship from NGOs?
Yeah, definitely. Like we said, we work with the government of Liberia, the National Public Health Institute, to also implement these COVID-19 messages across the city of Painesville, meeting with schools, going back to our communities. Because the thing is that it's about peers to peer. When your colleagues tell you that this is wrong, I think you will certainly listen to his concern. So what we do is that we work through youth organization in Painesville, depending your schools of operation, and we do that. And one of our biggest partners and supporter is the Painesville City Corporation through the
Okay.
office of Mayor Pamberta Taylor that are consistently been supporting youth programs in the city of Painesville.
And Lawrence, I want to know what constitutes a concern to the Federation of Pinsville Youth. So, how do you determine that this is an issue for young people in Pinsville?
Yeah, certainly.
How do you weigh in on is it that the normal everyday complaints from young people on the radio, or how do you detect that this is a concern for young people?
Yes, actually, young people have issues, and additionally, For example, if we call an executive meeting, like the issue of drugs and substance abuse, which is a very serious issue, and a
But
calling.
not all young men will attend that meeting.
Yes, what happened is that we work through youth organization in Painesville.
Okay.
So through the organization, we listen to the concern of young people because we know
They are
very well.
representatives,
Yeah,
right?
definitely. We know very well that all of those young people will not be in that meeting at a particular time. So what are those issues affecting District 1 Montserrat County? It cannot be overemphasized. The issue of drugs and substance abuse has become a culture in our society. So a young man will tell you this is our problem. What can we do? Prevail on the government of Liberia constructively, call on the legislature for the passage of the drug law, call on the president to officially sign that declare illicit drug and substance abuse as a national emergency. That's a concern. The issue of education is a concern. That's the reason the Federation partnered with the Association of Dream Builders. On the 28th of October, we brought the President of the Republic of Liberia to the Painesville City Corporation over 3 to 4 hours. He listened to the concern of young people. We told him, Mr. President, this is what affecting young people. We speak in singular voice.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, he listened to our concern. He launched a scholarship fund drive, and we're able to send over 244 young people to school, and they benefited from that opportunity. So those are some of the issues affecting young people, and we see it as a need to also raise issue constructively with our government and institutions of concern. Like the issue of rape, the Federation also is concerned about that. You are aware that 2 years old kids, 6 years old, 14 has been raped in this country, and as a mother organization, we cannot remain silent on those issues affecting young people.
Well, it seems as if the issue of drug abuse
Yeah.
is a serious issue in
Certainly.
but there you are also calling and you are the lead campaigner for the establishment of the Painesville
Yeah.
Community College.
Sure.
So if you were to weigh in on the two, which one would be your priority?
Yes, the issue of drug abuse poses a serious problem to the growth and development of our nation. The United Nations General Assembly has urged nations across the world to have a tougher law against drug during a particular assembly. And the United Nations has already encouraged nations, and which of course Liberia is no exception as it relates to having a tougher law against drug. The United Nations also announced that from now to 2050, you will have over 25 million young Africans falling prey to drugs and substance abuse. It has already announced that over 20,000 young people will die annually because of the intake of illicit substance and substances. Finally, nothing is done about the issue of drugs and substance abuse. Liberia will lose an entire generation. We might not have a professional journalist like Favle Kamara. We might not have a professional journalist again around this nation. We might not have a professional doctors because all of the young people will certainly be in the ghettos, and the future of this nation will be at risk. So our point is that we must have the next George Weah. We must have the next Vice President Joe Howard Taylor. So what needs to be done is that the young people have said this is a priority. So look at the issue of drug abuse. Look at the issue of, of the rehabilitation center for young people. Look at the issue of empowering the LDA. So at the end of the day, if Liberia can win the war against drug, then we can save a whole generation of young people.
Well, since drug abuse, since your mentioning of drug abuse is taking
Yeah.
center stage, then let's stick to it. What has been done now to address it?
So what has been done in 2020, the Association of Dream Builders, the mother organization, the Federation of Painesville Youth, we have to launch a campaign to raise 10,998 signatures. And we petitioned the 5 lawmakers in Painesville. And Painesville have a legislative caucus that is headed by Honorable Fala. And during that time, the representative of District Number 4, Honorable Dennis, who had the Committee on Claims and Petition, received our petition. It was sent to the House of Representatives, read in committee room, seconded by Honorable Jimmy Smith. And up to the latter part of this decade, we have been pressing on the lawmaker for the passage of the drug law. And Fortunately for us, after 2 to 3 years of battle, the law was passed from the House of Representatives, over 45 lawmakers giving their support, and reached to the Senate committee room on youth and sport, on judiciary, and all of that. It was also passed overwhelmingly and presently reaching to the executive mansion to have it approved. So those are efforts that have been made as it relates to addressing the issue of drug and substance abuse from the angle of the young people. Additionally, the Federation of Painesville Youth Dream Builders, the ECOWAS Youth Assembly, we launched this national summit on drug and substance abuse to listen to victims sharing their stories, how drugs has treated them over the time. So the message went across, and our national leaders listened to our concern.
You think that as we stand, there is the population of drug affected youths is growing.
Yeah, sure. A report revealed that over 70 some plus thousand young people are in the street presently.
Mm.
Yeah.
What do you say about rehabilitation?
Yes, rehabilitation was one of those things that are actually captured during our presentation of the petition to the legislature. Fact, you can win the war against drug in the absence of the rehab center. It's not possible. You can't win the war against drug if you do not empower the LDA. LDA need logistical support. Our Painesville do not have 5 DA pickups. The manpower are very low. There's challenges as it relates to the sector responsible to look at the issue of drug and substance abuse. So there is a need to have a rehab center. And thank God the government has listened to launch a project to build a multi-purpose rehab center to rehabilitate young people. That is a matter. Rehabilitate them, give them professional and technical skills, and after 2 years or 1 year, they come back to society and make their contribution. So the issue of rehab cannot be overemphasized.
Okay, Lawrence. Now, when you interact with some of these young people who are already affected, and you're trying to talk to them and find a way around them, what are the common stories with regards to how they feel prey to drug?
Obviously, peer pressure has been a major factor that are contributing to the downfall of our young people. Most of them share their stories because our borders are poorer, and we have over 100 plus borders entry points. So all of those borders are not meant properly. So at the end of the day, you will bring drugs into Monrovia, and it will land safely, and at the end of the day, get back into the hands of our young people. So most of them have shared that this has to do with peer pressure, and the borders are vulnerable. The laws are not strong. You will arrest a drug dealer, you take him to the court, and the next morning he file a bond and come back to the community, and which of course is undermining the fight against drug. But most of the stories these young people are giving to us is the issue of peer pressures. The borders are very poor. The traffickers are walking out of the court without penalty, and the law is actually not strong. So these are things that young people are telling us. When we get to this ghetto, for example, in district number 6, that hosts the biggest ghetto in Painesville, which is Zimbabwe, along the beach side, that ghetto had over 500 plus young people. We went there with the Destiny Recovery Program to pray for them, to encourage them and say, live this life. These young people are actually there. So there is a need to look at the issue of drug and substance abuse.
So I was asking about the Federation's call to government concerning the porosity of our borders. What is your call?
Yeah, we have said to the government of Liberia, the issue of empowering the DEA has been a challenge over the years. The DEA do not have sufficient manpower, and we have encouraged the government to win the war against drug. You must certainly empower the DEA. You need technological devices and equipment as well, because some of those drugs that have been brought into Monrovia, they use it in the tires of the vehicle. I remember in 2016, a Nigerian man flew in from Nairobi to Monrovia. He have to swallow over 21 grams of cocaine, and because of some level of intelligence and technology, the LDA have to discover that particular issue. So we have consistently said to win the war against drug and substance abuse, you should empower the LDA. And which, of course, I will hope and pray that the LDA can be empowered to combat this mandate that is destroying the fabric of our society. Get to the city of Painesville, get to ELW Junction and see our young people in the dump site. Get to ELW Junction and see our young people towing the old irons and in the street corner of Monrovia. This is alarming. We need to save the next generation of young people.
There are some parts of the society that say, you know what, we don't need to be diplomatic in this whole thing about discouraging drug abuse. Sometimes we need to take some radical step by burning down these ghettos. We all know about Zimbabwe. Why is it that we're not destroying them?
Yeah, we need radical approach to win the war against drug. But on the contrary, you need to also have some systematic approach to also win the war against drug. Burning the ghettos, and I also disagree with the LDA issue of raiding. It is not the solution.
What is the solution?
The solution is to have a tougher law against drugs. The solution is for the president of the Republic of Liberia to muster the courage and declare illicit drug as a substance abuse.
Lawrence, laws are laws. Laws are laws
like
when they are enforced.
Like the issue in Philippines, the president...
And Duterte is very radical.
Yeah, he is the one leading the campaign because he said that we must have the next generation of young people that will run the affairs of this country. As worse as the issue of drug is in Mexico, they have a tougher law against drug. The law is weak. You arrest a drug dealer today, tomorrow he come back to the community. What is the essence? You arrest a drug user, you take him to South Beach, after 2 days he come back, no rehab. Build rehab center, empower the LDA, declare drug and substance abuse as a national emergency, then Liberia is prepared to win the war against drug. If that is not done, we are certainly losing our young people to drug abuse.
So if the government were to empower the Federation of Painesville Youth to help, eliminate or minimize the intake of drugs by young people, what specific areas would you want the government to invest in your federation?
Yeah, we talk about publicity. It's important. That's why we launched a campaign, Don't Go There, because the young children...
Don't go where?
Don't go there. Don't go in the ghetto. We sell books, not drugs. We launched that campaign.
But people they are not listening to you.
The young people will listen. We have to be consistently consistent. Because if we say they will not listen, we might not have the next Vafle Kamara. If we say they will not listen, we might not have the next Jala Griffey. We might not have the next Eva Flomo. We might not have the next Torrance Solonte Brown. So what happens to our professional doctors if we are saying these young people will not listen? So what can happen is that get back to these young people, tell them that, hey, drugs is not the answer. You have to disabuse the minds of young people. It is terrible indeed to sit. I went to Asa Davis. I have an opportunity to go there. I went to the Effort Baptist. I graduated from John Lewis. I see some of my colleagues that we share decks with. They are in the ghetto. It pains me a lot to see our young people on drugs and people see nothing wrong. Our society is a stereotypical society that names young people. The society now has named those young people as ogos. They name them as less fortunate young people. They name them as disadvantaged youth. That is not the solution. If we must have the next Liberia, we must have these young people out of the ghetto and we put them on the right trajectory. At the end of the day, we have a Liberia that all of us can walk in the street with our phones, with our electronic devices in our hands.
But there should be no available ghettos.
Yeah, certainly there should be no ghetto, but what happened to those guys who are bringing the drug? An economic principle has said when there is no sellers, there will be no buyers. So prosecute those guys who are bringing the drugs. So at the end of the day, those guys will actually not build ghettos. If you take those guys and carry them to the rehab center, they will be ambassador against drug. Go to the ghetto and take one person from there and say, this is not the kind of life you should be living.
Do you hear to call by some that we have ghetto police?
Yeah, sure. There are some police that actually go to the ghetto, sometimes take money from them, which of course is wrong. And we hope that the LDA can...
No, I mean, this unit group of people trained specifically to raid ghettos and to ensure that there is no establishment of ghettos in the city.
What happened?
Do you agree?
What happened? You raid a ghetto today, and the next day the ghetto is being built. Probably there are over 5,000 plus ghetto in this country. The ghetto now is movable. They have ghetto in the Book Bears.
You say ghetto is movable?
Yeah, sure. The ghetto now is movable. You have ghetto in the Book Bears.
So it doesn't necessarily have to be a structure built.
You have ghettos in the homes, you have ghettos in the schools, you have ghetto in the pocket, because these guys transport the substance and the substances. The matter of fact is that they want to transport these substances.
So the challenge is extraordinary.
Seriously,
so huge.
I went to Grand Bassa County in Gozon to do an anti-drug campaign there. I saw the same young people who are in Monrovia. I'm seeing them in Grand Bassa County on the street. I went to Bombay County to do an anti-drug campaign in Senator Snow territory there. I saw these same young people. Went to Nema, we saw them. Went to Magdibi County, Kakata, and this is getting serious. We just thought, and I shared this view with the representative for Grand Bassa County, Honorable Goswa, where he said that maybe if there is no manpower, you will go back to the interior, bring young people to run the affairs of this country. But that is not the case. You get to Nema County, you will see Zogos. You get to Bon County, you will see Zogo. And this is becoming a pandemic. And when you take over this country, you will not leave the studio easily.
Okay, that's that for drug. Now, let's come to the establishment of the Pinsville Community College. You've been the lead campaigner for this. Why are you so interested?
Yeah, certainly we have said this, and we maintain this core, and the president also supported and see the need to have a Pinsville Community College.
How is that college different from universities who already have here?
Yeah, so let's establish the debate now. Pinsville have 5 electoral districts, and we are nearing close to 1 million populations. Pinsville have the president of the Republic of Liberia. Pinsville have the speaker, the deputy speaker. We have senior government official, the state broadcaster is in Pinsville City. And we have good numbers of young people. Like you said, over 65% of our population, they are all young people. The quest for quality education cannot be overemphasized. There is a need for the establishment of a Pinsville Community College. We have 5 lawmakers, and all of those lawmakers are building their personal university and colleges. If you have too many universities, what is the essence of building the African Dream? What is the essence of building the T5 University? What is the essence of Swakoko building her personal vocational school and all of that? So what is the essence of Honorable Bashir building his university? So this should be a gift to the young people of Pinsville, so that when this batch of leaders shall have exit the Capitol building, you will say, this is what we gave the young people. Look at Sustainable Development Goals number 4, talk about quality education, and the issue of the establishment of the Pinsville Community College. I sincerely hold the view that no one will pick up the telephone and stand tall against the establishment of a Pinsville Community College. I pay $5 every blessing day to go to school from Monday to Saturday. I pay too many resources. I want to live in a city that tomorrow my cousin and my nieces can graduate from the Pinsville Community College. And there is a need. We have said this clear, that if we do not have a Pinsville Community College, 2023 October, the 5 lawmakers in Pinsville will certainly not go back to the Capitol building, because they stabbed this generation in the back. You can reduce young people to beg or
Is it because you see colleges being built in the county?
It's not a matter of colleges being built, but Pinsville is the biggest city in Liberia. Pinsville hosts the most powerful and influential man, the president of the Republic of Liberia.
The point is, Lawrence, one will argue the point is, why would you want to build
is it wrong to have a community college? It is wrong.
But we have tertiary institutions.
We're talking about Pinsville Community College.
So you just want to have an institution with the name?
This is a city.
I see you're more concerned about nomenclature.
It is not just about the name. The benefits of having a community college, it also gives some professional benefit. Equip young people for the job market. Equip young people for the
How many young people like you concerned about the establishment of?
If you open the line, you will listen to the kind of young people that are concerned. Even the intellectual class of Pinsville will have a communication with the chairman. He also agreed. Parents are supportive. We are soliciting signature for young people who are supporting the quest for the establishment of a Pinsville Community College. And I sincerely say that no one will stand tall against this debate. We have 5 lawmakers, and this should be one of your singular advocacy to have the establishment of a Painesville Community College that will benefit our young people in the city of Painesville.
How far have you gone with your advocacy, and how long are you intending to take it?
We launched the advocacy in 2020, and we call on the lawmakers.
2 years, 3 years now.
Yeah.
And you're not
We
getting
launched
any
that
result.
we will get result. If we do not get result, they will live by the consequence of our decision, because we will campaign against a re-election. You can't build your personal university and you leave the community college out of it. This is an affront to our generation.
How do you want this college built? From the county resources? From the coffers?
Wheresoever money can be taken from, either from the budget, from the county resources, or you raise the money from anywhere, there is a need for the establishment of a Painesville Community College. Most of our representative lawmakers or senators, when abroad, have quality education, come back to Monrovia and making impact. Painesville have a growing population of young people who their quest for education, it cannot be overemphasized again. So there is a need for the establishment of a Painesville Community College, which will stand tall to that particular debate.
How popular is this advocacy with the young people?
The advocacy is making result. It is going down to the ordinary people. They are supportive of this endeavor to have a community college. They have welcomed this, and we are calling on the legislature, wherever this bill is stuck, the young people of Painesville have said enough is enough. We need our community college. All the 5 lawmakers in Painesville will live by the consequence of the decision of not having our community college in Painesville.
Okay, if you just joined us, you're listening to the Super Morning Show on ELBC Radio. Lawrence Deyuga, a young man, program officer of the Federation of Painesville Youth, is here as my guest on the Super Morning Show. Now, let's come to the second half of our conversation, Lawrence, and that has to do with the recent summit that was held.
Yeah.
Tell us more about that.
Yes, the summit was great, and we have always said that this thing should and must happen in our generation. We wrote the president 90 days to this program, and we consistently press on President Weah to listen to the call of young people. And the Painesville Youth Summit is a platform that is designed to give young people an opportunity to interface with their leaders, because we don't want to have the culture of burning tires. We don't want to have the culture of protest, which is a right. We don't want to have the culture of throwing stones. So we thought it was, as the biggest city where we have conscious-minded young people, to call on our government and say, this is the issues affecting young people. These are issues we want you to listen to. These are issues we want you to address. So we communicated, and additionally, we also said we want to solicit some resources to help our young people to have access to quality education. And the president served as the guest of honor. You know that he's a resident of Painesville as well. And President Weah graced the Painesville Youth Summit. He gave his message of hope to the youthful community, encouraged them to stay away from drugs and keep dreaming. Your dream will come to reality. Keep pushing. And the young people are actually inspired as well when the president made his official statement to delegates of the Painesville Youth Summit, and we raised the amount of $2.5 million Liberian dollars and helped over 244 young people. And that resources was supervised by the Painesville City Corporation, where the Comptroller General provided some level of financial discipline, financial advice as well, to make sure that over 244 young people benefited. This was not a closed-door process. State broadcasters were present. We have Spoon FM, other media institutions, including the Hot Pepper newspaper, and we displayed all of the beneficiaries publicly at the Painesville City Hall, and these young people benefited, and they extended their thanks and appreciation to President Weah for supporting youth development in the city of Painesville.
Now the summit has come and gone. What next for these young people who participated?
Some of those issues we said, we requested President Weah to join us for the passage of the drug law, and effort was made right after President Weah made a pronouncement calling on the Liberian Senate for the passage of the drug law, which was one of our targets 3 days after the drug law was set in the past. So the young people said thank you. Right after that, we have over 244 young people that are in schools, and every time we go and check on our students, go to the Action Faith, you will see our young people. Go to Louis A. Thomas, you will see our students there. Go to Hope China, you will also see our young students there. Go to Crest Standard School, you will see our young students. Go to the Ellis Kona Foundation, which is the Confident Builder School, you will see our young students. Go to District Number 5 at the Sweet Vocational School, you will also see our young people who are having access to quality education. We pay to the school. Go to Louis A. Thomas as well. We pay to the school.
How are they selected?
And they give us receipt. We select them based on districts, those that also have needs as well. We get back to the school and say, who are those students that are doing excellent as well? Because we want to encourage these young people who are also making some level significant contribution in the school. So based on those online, we also select our young people to have access to quality education. And all of the report has been forwarded to the office of the president, CC copy the presidential envoy as well.
Yeah, because I was about to ask about, because the issue of transparency should be the hallmark of youth activities.
When we received that particular resource, I publicly said to the young people, our character is on the line. Finally, we need to raise a generation of transparent young people. If the next generation can break the barriers of transparency, we believe that us young people can say enough is enough, and us, we need to have transparent young people. When the money was received, young people said this will not be realized. Other young people said this thing will not work, and other young people was like fighting us and here and then. After that, the president have to call and say, Lawrence, your character is on the line. We are following this process closely. So all of the young people that benefited, we tag your photo, and we tag your receipt, and we tag your form, your scholarship form. We stamped them and presented them to the city government for the sake of transparency.
And how long do you intend to carry on, with helping, with providing scholarship to these young people? How long do you intend, or the Federation intends to do that?
We want to make it a tradition in Painesville. At the end of every youth gathering in Painesville, young people should be supported. We want to make this a culture. We want to make this a tradition. We don't just want to bring people to our programs. At the end of the day, you cannot meet the demands of our young people, because when their demands are met, actually these young people will be reasonable, because we want for young people to have that kind of quality education so that tomorrow these young people can also make a sound decision. 65 to 75% of our population, they are the ones selecting national leaders. They are the ones sending people to the parliament. So when these young people cannot read, they compromise their vote for rice, they compromise their vote for t-shirt, they compromise their vote for any kind of thing. So we want to end that culture, and we hope and pray that this will continue. And this year, Painesville Youth Summit President Weah is set to serve as a keynote speaker, and this will be a $10 million scholarship fund drive for young people in the city of Painesville, because Painesville is blessed to have the president.
And we also understand that there is a Girls Empowerment Summit coming up.
Yeah, sure. The issue of marginalization against women is becoming a culture. Our society now is accustomed to this thing that women should be in the back. And we want to say that it's an affront to our women. Great women across the world has been given the space in our society. Women has been climbing the professional ladders over the time. For example, the Vice President of the Republic of Liberia has mustered this courage to climb this ladder, seeing herself reaching and heading the Liberian Senate, seeing this Vice President making a case for women across the continent, see former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf also breaking the barriers in Africa, see Manalema Bowie as well. Permanent women across this continent has been making impact. So we said there is a need to have a women empowerment summit, to listen to the concern of our women, to share their thoughts and their idea. And during that program, the Vice President of Liberia will certainly hear a panel discussion. She will tell young people, how did you manage, Madam Vice President, to climb this ladder, to be ahead of those men, to be a star in Africa? How did you manage, Madam First Lady Clara Marie Weah will also be there to share her thought. Permanent Liberian women that are making impact will certainly be there, and there will be a fundraiser.
You said when does it start?
Yeah, it starts March 29, and there will be a fundraiser of $8.5 million Liberian dollars. We are sending over 200 girls in Painesville to go and have access to quality education to the Crescent Embassy, so they can also empower themselves. And at that program, there will be the official presentation of the Painesville Excellent Award, which is the highest honor in the city of Painesville. And who are those to receive this kind of honor? For example, you have Madam Emma Glasgow that have taken NAFA from nowhere to somewhere, that have brought NAFA to the public, that projected the image of this institution, that today that institution can have some level of attention. Look at the Minister of Public Works connecting our roads, making sure that roads are being connected and built across Montserrat County. These are women who are making impact, and the young people of Painesville will say thank you to them. Yeah.
Great. If you just joined us, you're listening to the Super Morning Show on ELBC Radio. My guest is Lawrence Deyuga, a young man, very passionate about youth activities. He's the program officer, the Federation of Painesville Youth. He's my guest this morning on the Super Morning Show. Now, Lawrence, just before we go to the lines to take calls, what can you say as your honest opinion about the future of young people?
The future of young people is actually not a free ride. There's a competitive dispensation we find ourselves in. So that I want to encourage all of our young people, you have to keep pushing, because if we want to take the baton from the next generation, you have to equip yourself. If you want to take the baton from the next generation, you have to be
But is the future bright?
diplomatic. Yes, there is light at the end of a tunnel, especially for those that are prepared to take on the task of nation building. Because if you just sit in the corner and continue to rain insult at national leaders, sometimes I put my radio. Normally, I don't call on radio programs, and I put the radio on from one station to another and listen to young people raining insult at national leaders. You are not paving the way for yourself. You are just creating those stumbling blocks. But to take on the affairs of this country, you have to be prepared. You have to go through the process. It is painful, but you have to take the bullets. You have to equip yourself. That's the reason we are equipping ourselves, because tomorrow we don't want anybody to question our credentials. That's why we have to make our way at Lincoln College. We have to make our way at the Liberia Institute of Public Speaking and other professional institutions. So tomorrow we can have a space in our society and make our contribution to nation.
And this year is very critical because we go into
sure.
elections.
Yeah.
And I mean, you agree with me that young people are the main perpetrators of
Yes,
violence because they allow themselves to be used.
Yeah, that's why the Federation of Painesville Youth, in one of our executive meetings, we are saying enhancing youth participation in maintaining the peace. That program will be launched at the Painesville City Hall. What is the role of the media in maintaining this peace? What is the role of civil society organization? What is the role of our doctors? Even they have a role to play. What is the role of even the police officer as it relates to maintaining the peace? And moreover, what is the role of the youthful community? We have told our young people, don't be used. You know, it pains me to see our young people raising battle cries a lot. Why is it you can't give this man professional education? Why is it you can't help this man to have a master? There's a friend who earned this bachelor.
But what if this man is not asking for it?
No, he need to ask for it. There's a friend that I have. He earned a bachelor degree in geologist, and this guy told camera behind a particular politician. So that I called him and said, but don't you think it is important to ask this politician to send you to school to advance yourself, send you are the best government in waiting as you claim, so tomorrow you can't just sit on the fence and say you are not qualified? Young people need to get prepared. Stop raising battle cry. Equip yourself for the task. The task ahead of us is not easy. That's why we said this generational change is not a free ride. You have to be competent. You have to know the thing to your fingertip so that tomorrow no one can say this young man is not qualified to have this job. So young people, stop voting for back arrest. That is an affront to our generation. What is it that you as an older generation, you want to get to the Capitol building, right? You want to make the case for young people, you bring back arrest. It's an error, it's a generational error. Why would you bring t-shirt to young people to vote? Why would you bring the issue? If any politician comes, if you cannot talk about how you will make Liberia to be sustainable as it relates to education, sustainable as it relates to our community college, sustainable as it relates to raising young people from poverty to prosperity, the young people will certainly not listen to you.
Okay, you're listening to the Super Morning Show on ELBC Radio. My name is Vafli Kamara, and my guest is Mr. Lawrence Deyuga. He's the program officer, Federation of Painesville Youth. If you want to be a part of the program, you can now call us on 080514096, 080514096, 07705818886, 07705818886. And let me make this clear. The 07705818886 is my personal line. And sometimes when I'm out and another program is on, they open a line, people call me on that number. This is my personal line. I just open it so that we can have at least two lines to give other people the opportunity to be a part of the program. So let's hear from this person. Good morning. Let me hear from this person. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Bafuli. How are you?
I'm fine. What's the name?
Yeah, this is Ishmael Aziz James. Friends call me Meronim Community, and I'm calling you from Fuyalopa County, Liberia.
Go ahead, Ishmael.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Bafuli. Let me just appreciate our studio girl this morning in the studio. Actually, for you, I said we should stop voting for a favor rest. You have drawn my attention to one of our Honorable Thomas Pangapala, who is in Morovia. When that young man entered here, now if you see, he took 3 young friends, he sent them to Cyprus. They are there studying to come back in this our district to give back to us. And also, he has taken so many young people, he sent them to the university. So these are the people that you need to think of. Someone that can think about the future of this country, about the future of the young people. Young people to not be photographed, to be a militant. That one will not help you in the future. Look at someone that can transform your life and your can transform other people's lives. So thank you so much, our fellow guest. May God bless you for this nice presentation this morning. May God bless you.
Thank you so much. Let's hear from this person. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. What's your name?
Yeah, this is John Thomas. I'm a young activist and I work on Ovo, but I live in Painesville.
Okay.
First of all, I want to know where is the office of the Federation of Painesville Youth? Where's the office?
Okay.
Number 2, we would like to know how CSOs and community-based and can be a part of the Federation in terms of registration.
Okay. Thank you so much. Good morning.
Good morning, big brother Badley, and good morning to my own senior brother Lawrence Desgali. He is at the school now. Vice Chair for Operation International is in the aspiring of issue number 5.
Go ahead.
Thank you for the show, and this is why I'm always saying that we as young people, if we say we want for Liberia to change, the change needs to start with us as young people. And nothing for us as young people without us. So if the government of Liberia, if anybody in this country wants for Liberia to be for the youth, the fact that we are majority, we need to be part of every decision making. We need to also avail ourselves to get engaged with initiatives of such. Advocating for the community college in Painesville. Painesville is one of the largest cities in Liberia. And the population of Painesville, if you look at it, it can make 2-3 counties in this country. So we cannot be in this country, in this city, without a real community college that we can be our students living from here to go way further. Need campus, going to UNU, SDA on the highway. It is not good for us. So we need to stand up for it, and the government needs to muster the courage that our leader pass that bill for us.
Thank you so much. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Badley.
Yeah, how are you?
Yes, this is
You say?
I'm Walter calling from New Jersey, Football Defender.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Yeah, I want to tell my son thank you in studio this morning. I want to thank you very much. And that's on that about the youth in this country that they are not supposed to make us like you. All the things going on through this country, the youth can fight in every decision making. The youth, I want to thank you and this is something to focus on our youth. And Mr. Badley, you see the EFBC station that are stepped that you got to get more than 5 now. The orange number try to get orange number because my
that the reason why that the reason why I call my personal line on the show so that my own they call me every day they call me when any program. Anyway, thank you so much. Let's hear from this person. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Morning, what's the name?
Well, my name is Ambassador Matthew D. Kekula, and I'm joining you from Police Academy.
Let's hear you, Chief.
Yeah, firstly, I want to commend my leader, who is there in studio. No, thank you so much, Pastor Lawrence. This issue is one of the issues that we all need to put our hands around and see how best we can save our generation. You know, like you mentioned about the issue of drugs, it's one of the things that I think every leader, everyone should put their hands on and see how best we can save the next president, the next government officials, because the issue of drugs is everywhere. It's everywhere, in every corner, in every community you enter, you hear about this substance abuse. So the question now that arises to us, or who will be the next president if every kid, even in the ghetto right now, you see children are taken into the ghetto, they are not in school, they are into the ghetto selling cigarettes, selling drugs. I'm not telling you they say I'm a drug activist. I'm there into the ghetto as well. I'm there into the school. I know what is going on. You see these situations, and then you ask the question, if all the kids come up being a drug addict, who will be the next leader?
Okay.
But, yeah, so let me call on, use this platform also to call on everyone, national government, individuals. Let us put our hands together and say no, help our youth, help save them, and let us say no to illicit drugs abuse.
Thank you.
The only have a better nation. Thank you so much for the time.
Thank you so much. Let's hear from this person. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, family.
Yeah?
Okay, this is Ed Lauren Baba calling you from Lovakande to be certified for this is number 2.
Baba, you call me first. You change your name to Ishmael.
No. So the first name was Ishmael is my friend.
Oh, boy, you can talk the same way. Oh, wow.
Yes.
You're from the same family?
Come on, family.
Go ahead, Baba.
Okay, first of all, let me applaud my namesake for his counseling what he's saying, because we want to have more, we want to have more present we are. But the only way the youth of nowadays need to be prepared. Or whosoever listens to Lauren this morning, I don't think that drums will be your food. But those who either have them, will still talk to them. And Councilor Lauren, thank you so much this morning.
Okay. Thank you so much. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, people family, and good morning to our senior brother in studio, Lawrence Jaika.
Yeah, go ahead. What's the name?
My name is Success J.L. Caltino, and I join you from people community this morning. And let me say thank you for the program this morning. And actually, Mr. Lawrence Jaika actually spoke well, and I think there is no need for question. So let me just add my voice to the many voices and to the voice of Mr. Lawrence Jaika, that it is important that we establish the Painesville Community College, and also to additionally to establish 5 rehabilitation centers in every community to ensure that the access of justice is actually reduced to the lowest extent. Because the access of justice in this country is actually difficult. Most of our young brothers, our sisters are actually falling prey to it. Okay. So the absence of this things will be actually difficult for to get the next president we are, the next president Joe Arturo, and even the next public camera. So thank you for the program this morning.
Thank you so much. Let's hear from this person. Good morning.
Good morning, family.
Yeah, what's your name?
Good morning, this is Mark Kofa joining from Greenco.
Yeah, go ahead.
So let me applaud your still guys, and I'll say thank you to him, and more especially what he talk about, community college, though some of us, we are not in Painesville, but I think it's important that the Bianca Frank get attention to our young brother in studio that is advocates here fruit. Let me go straight to what he talked about. We as a young people, we are the problems to ourselves, to our mate. We sing, songs to politicians, and when they give up their rights, they come and share money. But this thing, they are not impacting our lives. So what he talked about, education, that we have to take on the battle. Let me admire him, and I hope that he should keep him. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. This will be our last call. Morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is my sister calling from the community, member of the Intellectual Alliance of Liberia.
Yeah, let's hear you quickly, Mose.
Yeah, let me appreciate your speaker get this morning for your analysis this morning. And I want to applaud you for that. You see, the average youth is getting too much in this country, seriously. But we got some of our officials who said it with choice. So to get rid of it, it will be very difficult to see areas to bring our areas for selling drugs. It will be difficult. So you are discussing about food. It then need us for us to take care of them and see how best to talk to them in a easy manner to take them from on the street because it's not a small task to talk to the guys. It's very difficult. So thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much. So Lawrence, you listen to the callers and the concerns.
Yeah, let me extend my compliments to all of the callers. I received those compliments in good faith. And additionally, as it relates to the office of the Federation of Painesville Youth, we have our office at the Studio Junction in Painesville City, right opposite the ELW fence. And so there we actually operate from. And then we also have one at the Liberia Business Association office in in Painesville City as well, right at the back of the LRA. And so how can one be a part of the Federation of Painesville Youth? You must, especially for youth organization, you must obtain your organization membership and request form. And so automatically we can admit you into the Federation of Painesville Youth. Individuals can also be a part of the Federation of Painesville Youth, and also organization can also join the Federation of Painesville Youth, and like-minded individual as well. You can also join the Federation of Painesville Youth. So to our young people, the Federation is actually open for all of us to be a part of it.
Okay, Lawrence. Lastly,
Yeah.
what do you want to see done? A new shift in youth activities in Painesville. You mentioned the Painesville City Corporation as one of your major partners.
Yes.
I mean, in terms of sanitation and waste management, is the Federation thinking in that direction?
Yeah, we have our sanitation department, and we're also planning a cleaning up campaign as a means of saying thank you and giving back to the city of Painesville. So it is in continuation of the clean city for WIA. So we have that meeting with the controller, and also brought the idea about the management of the city government to see how young people can give back to the city of Painesville, because every time a young man receiving, I think there is a need to give back to the city of Painesville as well. So in that direction, we're also concerned about that. The issue of sanitation is a challenge, not just for the city of Painesville, but we also believe that when you eat, you have to take the garbage to somewhere that you can also put it. You can't just sit in the vehicles and at the end of the day, you maybe drink a water, you throw the plastic in the middle of the road and say because we have a city government and all of that. I think the mindset also, we need to work on it as it relate to our approach maintaining the sanity of the city of Painesville.
Okay, your parting comments.
Yeah, so finally, let me say to young people, let's keep pushing. All hope is not lost. We know that it is difficult. We have to prepare ourselves educationally because the task ahead of us is actually not easy. And I share this thought with the Kenyan professor Patrick Lumumba that I said to young people sometime in Kenya, you should know what you are actually voting for. Are you voting for rice or are you voting for education? On the ballot, are you voting for health or are you voting for the connection of good roads? And to our young people in Painesville, we will not change Painesville by going on Facebook. We will not change the city by going on Twitter. We will change Painesville by rolling our sleeves and planting the tree so the next generation can enjoy the fruit of the tree. Thank you so kindly for giving me the time.
Thank you. Well, he's Lawrence Deyuga, the program officer at the Federation of Painesville Youth. He's been my guest right here on the Super Morning Show. My name is Vafle Kamara. Join the team tomorrow for another presentation. Bye-bye.